The battle over potentially moving the Cleveland Browns out of the city of Cleveland has Cuyahoga County leaders crying foul. They gathered on Monday to make their stance on the issue clear.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Great Lakes Science Center, the Hilton Hotel on whose grounds we are on today, many more hotels, restaurants, bars, small business owners who've invested in the downtown. Our first point is to protect and advance that investment.
They say they will not back a proposal to build a new stadium in Brook Park or elsewhere, citing their concerns on the blow it would deliver to the downtown businesses. This is a hot button topic among Browns fans, and we are bringing in YSN Live's DJ Yoakley to share more on their perspective on both sides. DJ, good to see you.
Great to see you, Lynn.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, a lot of controversy to start the season, and fans really have strong feelings on both sides of this issue. So let's start with those who are against it. What are some of the points that they're making, saying, hey, this isn't a good idea?
Yeah, I think you hit it in the lead there. It's not going to be in Cleveland anymore. The businesses downtown build their businesses based around sporting events, live sports, obviously, parking, things of that nature that makes the city revenue. And obviously they've had a stadium for less than 30 years. So it's not an old stadium. They've potentially opportunistic retrofit to the old Brown Stadium, First Energy Stadium. That's on the table, but everybody likes this Brook Park plan.
Okay, so you're hearing a lot of pros. So for those who are for it, what are some of the reasons they're pointing to? What do they like about this proposal, in addition to the fact that there's a dome potentially included here? It's
a bright and shiny object. It's one of those situations where you look at this and you go, okay, we can have the first of something in the country. You know, a lot of people like it because it is kind of out in the flats. It's next to the airport, so it's very convenient. It's not in Cleveland from the hustle and bustle of the parking, and it kind of works the other way. But it can host more than just football games. They're talking about NCAA championships, Super Bowls, which would bring in a ton of revenue for the Cleveland area, but not just Cleveland.
Yeah, and the Cuyahoga County executives and the officials, they had a press conference yesterday, made a big stink about the fact that they are not for this, they're against it. They don't like economically what they would see for the downtown area. There are some other issues. We have a rendering, though, of what you're talking about, showing off this proposed facility for Brook Park. The Haslams have said that they're considering two options: a $2.4 billion transformation here in Brook Park, with taxpayer public funding covering half of that cost, or a deal with the city of Cleveland for $461 million in exchange for an almost $1 billion renovation. The Browns also have a caveat here. They have to sign for another 30 years, a lease to stay committed to that facility. Haslam's obviously looking for the best deal. What do you sense is happening within that organization?
Yeah, so they put out a press release today, and Jimmy Haslam and that group are saying we're looking at all the options. Now, they're going to look at the options that best suit them, obviously. They're business people. But at the end of the day, I think you have to look at what best suits the fans. I think no matter what happens, the bad news for the fans is the ticket prices are going to go up. Anytime that there's an investment, there's a cost to anything, those ticket prices are going to go up. And eventually you're going to push out those season ticket holders that have had it for generations because they just can't afford it anymore. So that's the bad news. The good news is you get bright, sparkling lights on, and you can play in a dome and potentially host a Super Bowl, but will you be able to go? Because can you afford those tickets?
Yeah, and it's costly for the fans. A lot of them have resorted just to watching the games in their own way, whether it's at home or at a bar. Wondering if you think NFL teams have enjoyed a trend, though, of staying outside of cities. A lot of them are, you know, the Dallas Cowboys. They are not located technically in Dallas. This would be one of those scenarios. Is there a trend that's really helping?
I think so. I mean, there's only so much land. They're not making any more of it. So whenever you don't have any room in the city because of other businesses, you've got to look elsewhere. And you know, Pittsburgh has had conversation about this, and they moved their things to Cranberry. So it's not actually in Pittsburgh. That's where the Penguins practice. So the Browns doing this in Brook Park isn't kind of off the map or off the reservation, except for it's not in Cleveland anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see if this trend continues.
Yeah.
But again, they only have so much land in these cities, and they're kind of gridlocked to where they can put these giant facilities that everybody wants.
Definitely a big talker. Right as this season is getting underway, we have the Haslam's quote from X that they posted. They look forward to the city of Cleveland's responses to their detailed questions regarding their proposal. So still a lot to be ironed out here. Maybe no decision just yet.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm waiting for all the everything to kind of come to fruition, and one way or the other, The Browns, if they can put a good product on the field, could mean good things for them in the future.
All right. Great to see you here. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Lindsay.